I'm dying. Hey guys, right? I'm gonna put my dressing gown on because I'm really cold. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm gonna do a video about pretty much like how to start your own kit. Try not break the bank too much, but still have good products to put on your clients. I was about to say your friends, but like, yeah, friends, clients, whatever you want to say. Now, everything I'm going to tell you is usually what I do use on all my clients, but a lot of my stuff is in the salon, so if I don't have it, I'll put like a little picture of it somewhere else, or I'll just put the pricing everywhere, okay? Sorry, I should actually plan this video, but I just thought since I did my makeup today, I was like, why not? If you want to actually see a full tutorial on this look, head over to my Instagram now. It is all naomicormackmua, and there's like a little Instagram video onto it. First of all, if you're going to do makeup on people, you need to be hygienic. Can't stress it enough. Any brush you touch off somebody and you put that on someone else, it's going... Sorry, my dogs are very, very loud. Oi! Yeah, sorry. You need to make sure you clean your brushes, deep cleanse them, and actually clean them. So one thing that I use, and I used to use when I was in college, when I was on a little bit more of a budget, I used to use baby shampoo to wash my brushes, deep cleanse them like. At night time, I'd usually do that probably like maybe once a week. Now I do it like after like a big huge day that I have. Did you see that fluff on my nose? I was like, please don't tell me that's a snot. That is so embarrassing. Yeah, make sure you're deep cleansing your brushes in baby shampoo and then cleaning through. I always have like a little bottle of surgical spirits. Surgical spirits I buy in Boots. It's about €7, which is grand. It's really quick. It dries your brushes really quickly. I just like using surgical spirits instead of going off and spending an absolute bomb on any of the other makeup cleaners that you can use within. There's other ones that are absolutely stunning. They're about 30 odd quid. You always want to make sure you stock up so much on tissues, toilet roll, kitchen roll, sorry, cotton buds, cotton pads, all that stuff. You can all buy in Primark or Pennies or in Boots, anything that's like a pharmacy kind of place. So cheap, but just always do it. Like whenever you do your makeup, I do notice some people that they don't put down tissue onto their table and don't have like all their eyeshadows on top of the tissue. It's not unnecessary. I just think it looks very, very clean, and then in case like any of your powders fall, you're not dirtying your table. So yeah, cotton buds for decanting all your products and all that type of jazz. You'll see me if ever I go into Pennies, I have a huge bag of buying like 10 cotton pads and millions of cotton buds, and just they're so cheap. And I always have a little mini bottle of hand sanitizer or big bottle, whatever you want. I get mine just from Aldi, just a little one. Sterilize your hands every time you touch the face, and yeah. Right, since all the boring stuff is out of the way, we can actually start talking about fun things now. Right, I'll start with the skin. A thing that I like to use that is quite affordable for a primer. See, a lot of primers, I find that skin products, you want to spend your most money on it because that's what's going to make the makeup last. Me personally, I would rather a nice skin foundation than a nice eye makeup because the skin's going to last. And then like there's nothing worse than your eyes are absolutely stunned and your skin is just in bits. So I wouldn't ever recommend anyone to buy like a really cheap foundation or a cheap primer. Some people actually don't even use primer. Some people just put moisturizer on certain people's skins. It depends on the skin type. Obviously if they're more dry, put moisturizer on them though. But I just found my favorite primer to put on absolutely everybody because it is a primer that is for dry skin and combination skin. So if you are obviously on the really, really oily if you are really on the oily side, and obviously get a primer that's really good for you. But this is just one I like to pop on everyone. It is the Inglot primer. I do have it. It is Inglot Peach Primer. It's a really good primer just for all skin types. Like it's, I can't speak right now. It's a HD Peach Perfecting Primer. So you know, if someone's a little bit more on the cool tone side and you pop this on, it'll kind of just lift up the warmth up for them. I like putting on before the gym, and yeah, it's just good for anyone that has a bit of both skins, like combination skins, so it's not too hydrating and it's not too mattifying on the skin, so it's a really good one. So just starting off with that primer, you should be okay for the minute until you start building up your money to go get more primers. So foundation wise, I like to use, if none of you really know, I used to work for Inglot, so I would be very, very familiarized with the Inglot products, so that's why I have a lot of Inglot products. And it is very affordable. Like, if you are a qualified makeup artist, you do get discounts in there, so make sure you go in and get your discount. So one thing that you do need in your kit is always a dark foundation for like people who are tan, because usually most people that do get their makeup done are going out on a night out, and a lot of them do wear tan. And then you need to have a pale foundation for people that just tan isn't their thing. So you have to make sure you're suiting. You can't have someone come and sit in your seat and you're like, well, sorry, I actually don't have your foundation. Like, no. If you're gonna get into this industry, you need to have all your stuff. So what I recommend is, the foundation I usually use on people is HD, because a lot of people that I do know of like full coverage. I use Inglot HD. This is number 76, and then I have number 83, which is like a really, really dark foundation. So like a lot of people would usually be about a 76, which is quite a normal tan on. But then if people like to go like really, really dark, then 83 is probably one of like your most darkest tans. I just like to have that just in case I get someone who's like really, really dark. But 76 and 83, I mix the two of them together. And this is a full coverage foundation. It's mainly for people that are a little bit more on the oily side, but you can get away with it if you just put a lot of moisturizer on if you have dry skin, but it does give you a gorgeous full coverage. Then another foundation I like to use is the Inglot YSM. It's a demi matte finish, so it's really nice for people that are more on the like really, really dry side, and I just want to kind of give them that full coverage that they're looking for without making it look cakey. And then the other one that I use is the Loreal. I actually have it in the salon, I don't have it on me right now. It's the Loreal Match Perfection. I absolutely adore that foundation. I usually use it mixed with other foundations because it is a drugstore foundation, so I like to make sure that I have my high-end brands with like my Inglot and like my MAC and stuff, and I mix two of them together just to kind of give a bow. But the L'Oreal is so light on the skin, it gives a gorgeous glow, and it's so cheap. I got mine, I think, 3 for like the price of 2, so I think I got it for like 3 foundations for like 25 quid or something like that. So always go into Boots and check and see what the deals are on over there, but they would be my type of foundation that I really, really like. I have this other little thing that I like to use. I went actually one time to do makeup for a hair show, and I had a model who was like really, really like ghosty pale, like the palest pale that I had. Like, I have a really pale foundation, but she was actually paler than that. And then in Primark at the minute, they have these like little droplets. They're like white droplets, so it makes the foundation a lot lighter. So I would recommend getting one of them just in case you do get someone who is quite pale. Like, lucky enough I did have that on me on the day, because if not, I would have messed up the whole makeup, thank God. So like just little droplets. I know other brands have stuff like that that just lightens up foundation. So yeah, them little droplets are quite cool, so I'd go get them. Next thing, this is the only concealer I use on me and everybody else. No, actually I'm lying. I use one other concealer. That is the, I think it's called Maybelline Age Check or Age Perfect. I know, it's one that has like a little spongy thing. I think it's called that. But no, the one concealer that I use all the time for years, I've been using it since I'm in college. It is the Collection concealer. It is stunning. It's so light on the face, but so full coverage. Like right now, I have it on, but I don't have any powder on. It's kind of my new thing. I'm trying to like avoid powder, but like it doesn't really crease that much. It's so cheap. I think it's only like €5, and I got 3 for 2, so I got what did I get? €10 for 3 concealers. No, I think they're €6 actually. It was €12 and I got 3 concealers for €12. For powders, the powder that I always use on the skin is number 33 pressed powder from Inglot. It's this little guy here. Sorry, my other ones are broken. I use this underneath the eyes on absolutely everybody. Creamy kind of colour for underneath the eyes, but it's absolutely stunning. I use it on myself if I'm really dark or if I'm really, really pale. So that is only, I think they're, yeah, I think that powder altogether is about €24, €25. But then if you have a little discount card, it takes off a little bit off that as well. I use again Inglot. sorry. So what I like to do is I buy, you know, these flexi palettes from Inglot, and then I just pop them all in there. So each powder, the round powders are, correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're €15, and then the little bronzers and stuff are only €10 to refill. So the whole palette is €22. And then again, if you have discounts, there you go, saving your money. So that's my overall powder. No, I didn't even use my overall powder. My overall powders, I like to use number 405. It's kind of, it's not too dark and it's not too light, so I would recommend maybe just starting off with that. So 405 is my fave because it has little like glitter like particles in it, so it makes the skin kind of glowy without making it look too powdery. Next palette I'm actually obsessed with because it's so cheap. It's only €22. It is the Bbold. Sorry, the little palette fell off because I'm constantly taking on and off. It's the Bbold highlight and contour palette. It is stunning on the face and it's so affordable. You can use this on all your clients, and then the contour shade. This is actually, it's not too grey tone, so if you have someone that is quite on the paler side and you just kind of want to give them slight little bit of warmth slash contouring, this is a lovely one. Obviously this would be way too orange on their skin, but these two are really gorgeous, and this highlight, stunning. It's more suitable for people that have tan on. I'm not a big fan of it on my skin when I don't have tan on, but it is a gorgeous one too. So yeah, that's a lovely one. If if you find that highlighter is way too dark on, if you have a lot of paler skins, even though it actually is stunning on most of the skins, I'm talking about like quite pale, then you can always use like, you know, like your inner corner highlight to pop a little bit on the tops of the cheeks, so it kind of brightens it up a little bit. So it's all about using your products a little bit more versatile, and so you're not blowing all your money on it. And then setting sprays aren't absolutely necessary for when you're first starting off, because realistically, when you start off with your makeup, if you're starting up your own little business, you shouldn't really be charging like a whole amount if you're like brand new, unless like you've made your name and whatever. But like setting sprays, like at the minute I use MAC Fix Plus, but that's because I've been doing makeup for years and I've charged a little bit more than I would have like years ago. But lately I've been kind of using like you know, the pennies, the Primark setting spray. It's absolutely stunning because I put it on the back of my hand and then I kind of touched it and it had a little bit of a sticky base to it, which was good, which means that it'll stick to your skin. So yeah, I was a really big fan of that one. So maybe try going to Primark and pick up one of them little setting sprays. They're nice. Right, since we're finished with the skin, we'll move on to eyebrows. The one that I use is, I always use the NYX brow gel and the Essence brow mascara. I use this on myself and nearly everybody. The good thing about this little brow gel is sometimes it can go a little bit ashy on the eyebrows, which is actually a really good thing if you have someone that's blonde. Like if I have a blonde person, I actually still put this in their eyebrows. I just like kind of wipe most of it off my brush and then just start like outlining them, because I don't really like using like ashy tones on blondes, because I don't feel like they can get that nice shape. So I like using these warmy brown tones on them and it gives them a gorgeous shape. So these are my two products I use for the brows all the time. Right, on to eyes. The main colours that you need are obviously a brown smoky eye is your #1 request you're always going to get. So always have a nice brown smoky eye, a burnt orange eye and a cranberry eye. They are the most popular ones you're ever going to get. Unless if you are promoting yourself as putting up loads of colour and loads of greens and blues and pinks and all that type of stuff, people are probably more than likely gonna ask for it. You put up a really funky green smoky eye and someone asks for that and you left your palette at home, then you shouldn't really be promoting that you can do that unless you can offer it to somebody else. So if you're constantly putting up brown smoky eyes and cranberry smoky eyes, more than likely that person is going to ask for a brown smoky eye or a cranberry smoky eye. When I started up my freelance, I went into Inglot and I was like, I want new shadows and blah, blah, blah. So my friend Maria actually told me to go and buy a 20 palette. This is the original palette that I ever bought. So I went in and bought the 20 palette. I think it's €20 for the palette empty. And then each shadow in it it's only €6. Like, it's so cheap. So I would recommend going in, getting yourself a good big palette, so then all you have to do is just buy the shadows separately. So what I really like is obviously a nice white colour. A colour very similar to this, like this is actually Kylie Jenner's, don't worry about that. I really like using this colour here. It's like a peachy tone colour from Inglot, and then this is one of the Spice Collection colours. It's like a medium brown, and then going straight to your dark brown down here, and then a black. So the main colours that you will need is a white, a middle transition colour, a light brown, a dark brown, and a black. That's all you need. So €6 each, very affordable. But most people that do start makeup, they already have their brown shadows, so you don't actually have to go off and buy more of them. For the orange, if you want to just add in an orange tone, just get this shadow right here. This is number 335. If I don't, obviously I didn't say all the other ones, I'll list them all down below. But this is an absolutely gorgeous, like, burnt orange. It's probably one of the most popular shadows in Inglot. When I used to work there, we used to sell out of it all the time. It's a gorgeous one. And another little trick as well, if you're finding like your shadows aren't blending for you and you don't want to go out and buy more transition colours, just go back to your bronzer and then use at the edge, and then it'll blend into the skin so much easier, because these are a little bit more not as pigmented as an actual shadow, so they blend a lot easier, so they're really good for a transition shade. For my cranberry tones, I always, nearly more than likely, always use this shadow right here. This is number 55 shadow from Inglot again. Every single shadow I use is more than likely Inglot, Makeup Geek, or Kylie Jenner. That's all. Yeah, so number 55 is one of my favourites. And then this one, it is 301, I think it is. It's like a darker cranberry. And then I just go straight in with either black or like a plummy tone. A plummy tone isn't absolutely necessary. All you can do is pop your brush into your dark cranberry tone, the 300, and then a black, and then it'll kind of make a slightly like a plummy tone, and then just dab your black down on top of it to make the black stand out a little bit more. So I always go in with the 55, this one, and then to blend it out a little bit, because obviously your skin tone isn't red, I use that colour here, that peachy one that I always say, the 368 one, just along the edges of it, so it helps blending. So that's pretty much all the shadows that are very necessary. And obviously you can start building up your kit to have more of like a colourful one. Then for eyeliner, I've heard a lot of people say the gel liner from Catrice is meant to be really good. Not too sure, could be, but I've always went with the Inglot 77 gel liner. Smudge proof, life proof, like it is the best. It's the best of the best. Just, I've been using it for years and years, and I still haven't moved from it. Everyone, it's really, it's probably one of the most popular products that has ever sold from Inglot is the 77 gel liner. It's the blackest black you'll get. It's so good. It is a little bit harder to work with, so you will have to practice a lot more than you will with like a liquid liner, but it's so much more hygienic than using anything else. The lashes that I use are actually the Penny's Wispy Lashes. They are absolutely gorgeous on people's eyes. And then if people want to go for a little bit more of like a full look, I get the individuals and then I customize them because I absolutely love lashes. I get the lashes with some duo glue and then pops them on the very corners just to make them a little bit more full. Before I forget as well, the Inglot Duraline needs this. It can has so much stuff they can do. It can sharpen off your liner, de-liquefy your liner, or liquefy your liner, so it makes it a little bit more smoother to apply. If you have a lipstick that's too matte, you can make it less matte. If you decant some of your shadow onto a palette, pop that in, it makes it an eyeliner, pops pigments on. I can't remember if I said that, but it's amazing. You need it. Pigments. My favourite pigments, I still know, I'll never get over them. It's a gold and a rose gold. I don't have my gold one on me, it is number 49, but this one is 54. It's like a rosy tone. Don't know if you can see it. it like looks really, really white on camera, but then when it's on the eyes, it's stunning on the eyes. So we'll go with brown smoky eye, cranberry smoky eye, pink smoky eye, everything. And then the gold, obviously, it's just the best thing. You need a gold in your kit. Then with lips, I use the Primark lip liner in Desert. Make sure that it actually says Desert on it, because the other ones are a little bit more like on the pinky tone. The Desert one is more the brown tone. And then I use Inglot, but the Primark one is very, very similar to it. And the lipsticks from there are absolutely stunning. I use a lot of their lip glosses, but for actual lipstick, I use this Fleek lip gloss, lipstick, sorry, the liquid lipstick. It's in the shade Charlotte. Completely forgot, this is the lip liner here. I didn't realize I had it. It's like a gorgeous mauve tone kind of color. So it's absolutely stunning on the lips. Right, we'll move on to brushes for a few minutes then. I'm not going to go too in depth in this because everyone is to their own taste of what type of brushes they like to use. But I'll just show you what I use, and I just feel like what you need and what you don't need. For foundation, I go in with a brush like this. It's the Inglot. Yeah, the brush that I go in with is this Inglot kind of small, dense brush. I absolutely love it for like popping into the skin. And then I use this brush from Crown. It's the C529. Yeah, I have two of these brushes, one for concealer underneath the eyes, and then the other one for powdering underneath the eyes. And the other brush I use is a powder brush. This is the Inglot 15 BGF. I use it for overall powder and bronzer and blush. And then for highlighting, I use the Morphe R36 brush, just for getting in there. But it's not absolutely Can you please behave? And I could easily just use this as the powder brush, but as in a highlighter brush as well. Then for obviously your brows, I just use Inglot 31C, which is like a fine angle brush. It's brilliant because it's not too thick, so it can get really in at them hairs. Now these are the brushes that I absolutely need for every single makeover I do. It is the 6SS brush from Inglot, the Crown brush, the C511. This is a mini Morphe brush, F506. This the other brushes is the Inglot 13P brush. Need this for every single makeover. It's really good for smoking out the lash line. And the eyeliner brush I use is the 42T. It's like a mini angled brush. It is the best brush ever for doing eyeliner. It gets right in there and like sharpens off the liner for you. Now I really hope I didn't rush any of that. It's just my dogs are just so loud right now, and they will not stop barking because they're hungry. But yeah, now I hope you found this enjoyable. If I forgot to mention anything or you have any questions, just comment below. And yeah, I will see you in my next video, and I won't be wearing my dressing gown next time. I'll see you soon.